Listen up.
It's just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report.
Gossip.
With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
Well, in the midst of all the divorce drama that he's having, Dr. Dre has suffered a brain aneurysm. He was rushed by ambulance to the hospital, taken directly to ICU. They said he remains there. He's stable and lucid, but doctors don't know what caused the bleeding, and they are doing a bunch of different tests right now. So he did post on his account just to let people know on his Instagram, thanks to my family, friends, and fans for their interest and well wishes. I'm doing great and getting excellent care from my medical team. I will be out of the hospital and back home soon. Shout out to all the great medical professionals at Cedars One Love.
Question.
Hey, man. Yes.
Does anybody know how they figured it out? Was it headaches? Was it, how they know? Because I'm the type of person that I want to know. So if I ever have any of those feelings or pains or something that seems strange, that I'd be like, okay, I'm going to the doctor right now. Do we know?
Well, no.
We don't know what happened in his particular case.
Okay.
But it's usually headaches, man. And God bless that brother, because brain aneurysms are scary. I've definitely been to the doctor for headaches and had them do the MRI, making sure everything was good. And I didn't have an aneurysm because from what I've always been told, they come out of nowhere.
Right.
So I wouldn't wish that on
Yeah, sometimes...
nobody.
And what's crazy is Coach Jessie, who's been on the show before from the Detox Now, she actually had an aneurysm during this pandemic and was in the hospital. And she had these really bad headaches. She said the only reason she made them keep her in the hospital because she's very aware of her body and she knows a lot about that. And they tried to send her home. And later on, if she would have went home, she would have died because she ended up having an aneurysm. But fortunately, she knew enough to know that this was not an ordinary headache and stayed in the hospital.
Hey. And also salute to Dr. Dre for surviving Cedars-Sinai Hospital, because for whatever reason, rappers go to Cedars-Sinai and they don't always come out. Remember when Ice Cube was on Breakfast Club and he told us that Biggie, Eazy-E, Heavy D, all passed away in Cedars-Sinai Hospital.
All right, now let's discuss voting in Georgia. We told you before, Tyler Perry was having some issues, and we discussed this with Stacey Abrams. He never got his absentee ballot. He waited for more than a month for it, so he ended up having to fly back and vote in person in Georgia. Now, another person who also voted is Boosie. Here's what he had to say.
I'm looking for a change. I'm looking for a change. If I'm voting, everybody need to vote. I've been watching that runoff. I'm finna vote, man. That man finna change some. I'm telling y'all, I'm voting for what now?
All right.
Hey, man, I love to see black political culture thrive in Georgia, man. And I'm telling you, the only people who can ruin the enthusiasm that black people have for politics in Georgia is the Democrats. Because if they get control of the Senate and they don't keep these promises to black people the way that they say that they're going to do, boy, it's going to be a lot of people who are heartbroken after these past couple elections. Presidential and
right, but as like Stacey Abrams said, that's why it is so important right now, because we know how difficult it's been, like when Obama was in office, to get things voted through in the Senate. Because even just because if you have a majority, that still doesn't mean things will pass.
Correct.
So
well,
it does take a collective effort.
In this case, it will, because if they get the majority, the tiebreaker is Senator Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris is correct.
That's right. So in this case, it absolutely will.
Well, yeah, so everybody just has to be on board. Everybody. Now, Joy Behar and Meghan McCain were arguing on The View, and this is all over politics. Listen to this.
The Republican Party is in much more trouble right now because you have really traitors.
You have AOC saying she's going to
excuse me, am I done? I'm not done.
I know
I
what you're
was talking.
saying.
Right. I'm talking about
Somebody
answer.
You missed me so much when I was on maternity leave. You missed me so much. You missed fighting with me. Don't act like you missed fighting with me.
I did not miss you.
Okay, somebody answer the question, or I'm moving on.
Wow.
Hey, listen, one thing I'm not doing in 2021 is arguing over politics. Whatever your politics are, that's on you. I'm not into changing minds. I'm into changing who's in those positions of power in politics. If I don't like what a politician is doing, I will just actively support a politician I do. Not arguing with people about their politics. Don't ever argue with people about their politics, their religion, or their hip hop. Let them do their thing.
All right, the Grammys have been rescheduled from until March 14th, and that's because of coronavirus-related concerns. So, LA has been having a really difficult time, and they said right now hospital services are overwhelmed, ICUs have reached capacity, And now new guidance from state and local governments have led them to believe that postponing the show was the right thing to do. It was supposed to be on January 31st, hosted by Trevor Noah, but now they are actually going to postpone that.
The Grammys didn't learn anything from other award shows. They didn't learn how to execute an award show by watching other award shows. I mean, because clearly they weren't affected last year because they're in February, so they were on TV last year. They did it regular, normal.
Right.
Right. So they said they also are not sure what they're doing with the audience. They said we're going to determine as we get a little bit closer what we're going to do with our audience. But we have some really cool and special things that are coming together for our show. I think part of it is also, though, they've shut down production, period, in LA. Right. And a lot of people live in LA. So even if you want to send people to different locations, everything is shut down. So maybe they didn't anticipate that happening.
Easy fix, Grammys. Just have it in Atlanta. Okay, everything else is open in Atlanta. All right, just have it in Atlanta or Miami. Go to these places that are wide open.
But a lot of these actors live there, so they might have been doing things from different locations. And if you don't want to have, a crew around, that might be kind of difficult right now to get everybody to go somewhere else to film. So I'm not sure, what their plans were. But right now, you got to wait till March to find out. All right, well, that is your Rumor Report. I'm Angela Yee.
All right. Now we got front page news coming up. What are we talking about?
Yes, we are going to be talking about Jacob Blake, and we'll tell you what's happening with the police officer who shot Jacob Blake.
All right. We'll get into that next. Keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.